Hi guys, today we're going to be doing a fragrance review. I haven't done one for a while, so I thought I'd get one in with some new fragrances. I'm going to cover 3 main fragrances, and then there's 4 of these little samples that I sort of got with the other fragrances that I'm going to cover. And I'll be going through those with you. So, I will of course post links down the bottom to all of the fragrances I'm about to talk about. There's the Arancia site, which is good for knowledge and reviews and stuff like that, but also where you can buy them from and from the official sites. So have a look below. Thanks. The first one I'm going to go through was a sample I got from a magazine recently, which sort of started a little bit more as I need to do a new review. It's a fragrance from Cerruti, 1881 or 1881, however you want to call it. As you can tell, I've never had a Cerruti one before, so I thought, well, I'll give it a go, I'll try it. And yeah, this is Cerruti Vivo. It was new in 24, but I've only noticed it this year, so it's sort of only been in the shops and been advertised in 25. It's quite a nice fragrance. It's an eau de parfum. It's, I would say, a daily fragrance. You can wear it all day long. It's not overly expensive. I think it's about 55 to 65 pounds for 100 ml, so it's not that expensive. And for an eau de parfum, that's quite good because parfum's one of the strongest. So it's a nice smell. It's got a mix of smells to it. It's got some nice ingredients. It starts out with things like apple and ginger, goes a bit of pepper. Quite a nice sort of, I found it quite a fruity, the apple gives it sort of a fruity smell. So it's quite a clean, nice daily smell. But it's also got a mix of things like rum in it and sesame seed and marigold, which is a bit odd. You tend to notice them a little bit later in the day, and it lasts quite well. It's not the best, so I'd say a daily fragrance, one you wear to work or just out and about in. It's quite a nice fragrance for that. So it's not going to last all day long. But as with all fragrances I always, if I get them in a bottle, I'll then decant that into a perfume pod or a little atomizer and then carry that around with me. So I like to have a lot of fragrances. I like to be able to carry them around so I can top them up during the day. I didn't notice so much the dry down, the later notes, as your sort of the end of the day notes that you're supposed to feel. It has got vetiver in it. I have had vetiver before. I like that. I've got that in my Bentley. So yeah, overall, nice fragrance. Okay, so next we move on to a more familiar smell. This is another new one. This was out in 25. It's been advertised this year anyway, and it's a new Versace Eros. Now, last time I tested last year was the Eros Energy, which was quite a nice fragrance. This one is advertised slightly different. This is an Eros najim or najim. It's been advertised as sort of a Dubai type, sort of more Arabic, Middle Eastern type smell, and you can tell that by the advertising and by the box. It's sort of a brown colour. It's got a sort of woody, sort of ambery look to it, spicy, that sort of thing. So I didn't know if it was going to be any good or not because I like the Eros smells. I've had all of them in Eros Parfum, Eros Flame, Eros Energy. Those I really liked. So this new one I'm thinking I'll try it. So I'm not overly sure what this Arabic stroke Middle Eastern type smells are like. This is a parfum. Parfum is the strongest smell you can get. It's got the greater content of oils, fragrance oils in it. So I thought, yeah, I'll go and give it a go. So I popped up to Superdrug. The guy in there is very nice. Put it on a little bit of paper like you do, sniff. Oh no, really, that's not nice. He said exactly the same. He said, yeah, we all did that. As soon as he spread it, it was like, none of us are overly keen on that one. Okay. So I left it. I walked out with the bit of paper, card. I wandered around for like 10 minutes or so, wafting it about, thinking to myself, wonder what it'll be like. After about 10 or 11 minutes, it started to smell much nicer. I could smell the Eros family. So then that family trait from Eros, you could definitely smell that in it. I thought, actually, 10 minutes into it, it's actually quite a nice smell. And I ended up really liking it. So I went back to the guy in Superdrug and said, I'll have some of that, please. You can definitely tell the Eros is in it. It does smell like the Eros family, which is nice because they all do. They've all got that certain Eros smell to them. But this one's got the top notes of caramel and mandarin at first, which is maybe the thing that put me off initially. It needed to dry down a little bit. When it does dry down, it then goes down to cardamom and oud, which is, again, cardamom and oud is definitely from the more Middle Eastern type fragrances, they always say. When it dries down to 2 of my favourite ingredients, which is vetiver, which I've had in the others, and patchouli, which I always tend to get in them, and I really like that. So that smell, when it dries down, it's sort of mixed smell through the day, it's really nice. I really like it. As with a lot of these parfums, it does last. It lasts really, really well because, as I said, it's got the higher, greatest content of fragrance oil in it. So it has a really, really good, long-lasting smell. It is an all-day fragrance. Again, this is one of the ones you can have on any day, all day. It's more towards a winter fragrance, I think. It's just because of its warmth. The caramel gives it a sweet sort of warmth smell to it. So you could definitely wear this in winter and autumn, that sort of smell. I said initial thoughts were, I'm not so sure, but actually it's really nice. This one isn't as overly cheap as the others, but then again at the moment it's only available in 100ml or above, and the 100ml I think runs from about 76 quid in Boots up to over £100, £116 in some places, but I would say it's worth it. So the next one was more of I would say an impulse buy. So it's Moschino Toy 2 Pearl. Now, I'd seen Moschino fragrances online, I'd seen the pictures, I quite like the look of the bottles. And I thought, well, they're quite nice, but I didn't know much about the fragrances. So I had a read, I'd left Superdrug by then, had a wander around, had a think about it. I thought, oh no, because I saw it in there. And at the time, Superdrug were doing a 15% off for members type fragrance deal. So I had a wander around outside thinking, don't know, had a read up. Now, Moschino Toy 2 Pearl is advertised initially as a women's fragrance, but it is both. It's a unisex fragrance, men and women. So I thought, okay, that looks quite nice. So I went back in, had a smell and thought, oh, actually, you know what? I do like this. This is a nice smell. This is a nice, fragrant, fruity, quite a floral type smell to it. And I thought, yeah, no, this actually, I quite like this. Having already picked up something with a nice box or bag, you get quite a nice bag from Superdrug. I thought, all right, okay. This Moschino comes in a very colourful box. It's one of my favourite colours. As you can see, it's sort of a petrol-y iridescent colour. I didn't buy it just for the box or the bottle. I did buy it for the smell, but I do have this type of colour in many things. I have all sorts of bits and bobs, even watches that have got this colour. So I do like it anyway. But it comes in a super little teddy bottle, which is really nice. I love the teddy. I love the colour, the pearl colour, but I loved the pearl smell more than anything. I think most of the Moschino Toy 2s are probably fragrances for women. This one, as I said, it did say it's unisex. The woman in the shop, when I saw her, she was like, oh, well, I think it's for women only, isn't it? I said, no. I've had a read up, looked at it. I've seen reviews on it as well since I bought it. And it is definitely a unisex fragrance. It came out in 2023. So again, it's not that old, it's quite a new fragrance, which is nice. Its top notes are things like lemon and sorbet, citrusy type smells. That gives it quite a strong smell because it is a eau de parfum, so it's one below the parfum that we just had on the Eros. It's got freesia, jasmine and sand as its middle notes. The bottom notes include a vetiver, which is one of my favourites, of course, and it includes a musk. And musk, you can tell, is very much, said, like a florally type smell. So this is a really nice smell. I really like this. I would say if you're not a fragrance person, so if you're a guy and you don't wear fragrances really at all during the day, this is more of an evening one for you. This would be a fragrance you'd wear at night, go out with, go down to the pub or on a date or something like that. For somebody like me, I'd wear it all day. For a woman, again, you'd wear it all day. It's an all-day fragrance. I wouldn't wear it as an evening fragrance because I already have an evening fragrance. I've got my Jo Malone Scarlet Poppy, which is that's a proper evening fragrance. This isn't a daytime fragrance. This is only for evenings, dates, that sort of thing, going out fragrance, this one. This, I'm going to wear it every day. I haven't bought the biggest bottle. I only bought a 30ml bottle. Because I had other fragrances, I just got the other one and I had something else on the way, there was no point in me buying a big one. I like to have a choice of fragrances during the week to wear, so I don't wear the same fragrance every single day. Because of that, I didn't really need to buy a massive one. And again, it was on a good offer, so this was, I think it's from £36 to £49 for the 30ml. So it's a good price, especially because it's an eau de parfum. Great price for what it is, and it's this is a bottle I'm definitely going to keep and put somewhere. I really, really like it. So yeah, love this one. So as I did say, I had another fragrance coming through the post. That was the Colonia c.l.u.b from Acqua di Parma. Now, I like Acqua di Parma. I've already got a Colonia Essenza or Essenza Colonia previously. That's a fragrance from 2010. This is a slightly newer one. This one's from 2022. But there is a massive range of Colonia fragrances. If you look at the pictures and look at their website, there's about 8 or 9 different Colonia fragrances. And this one you also have to be very careful with. The Colonia c.l.u.b, there was a club that came out in 2015, which is just c.l.u.b. And then there's this, which is actually c.l.u.b. So a club with dots in, and this is 2022. They're all different. They all have a different smell to them, different ingredients or different notes. All of the Colonia Acqua di Parma fragrances trace back to the Acqua di Parma's very first fragrance, which was Colonia, came out in 1916. So it came out right in the middle of the First World War. And that was their very first fragrance that got them started. And again, it was a unisex male or female fragrance. This one, Colonia Club with Dots, I would say is definitely a male fragrance, and a lot of the review sites are saying it's a male fragrance only. It is. It's a very, very nice smell. This is a cologne. Now, colognes are the lowest concentration of fragrance oil. You don't get as much in it as you do in, say, an eau de toilette, and above that you've got eau de parfum, and above that you've got parfum. Now, cologne, you would normally think would be one of the weakest smells. It's sort of a subtle smell. It's not the case, I think, in Acqua di Parma. I think if the fragrance oil you're starting with is very, very strong, then you probably want a less concentration of it. And that is what I found with this Acqua di Parma, with the Essenza, which I've got already, and with this. This is a very aromatic, spicy smell. It's got quite a few notes in it. It starts out again with like bergamot, pepper, lemon, and then its middle notes is a thing called cicho, which I don't even know what that is, and rosemary. And later in the day, as it dries down, it's got a musk and cedar, sort of a woody smell to it. This, for me, lasts really, really well. It's got a long silage. I put some of it on today at about 11 o'clock, I would say. I can still smell it now, and it's now going to 10:30 at night. It's still got the same. It's still got a smell. It's not as strong, obviously, nowhere near, but I can still smell it. It's lasting really, really well. They say it probably lasts about 6 to 8 hours, and I'm saying, yeah, probably right. So although it's only a cologne, some colognes, if they've got the right strength in the actual mixture of the fragrance oil itself, can last as good as a eau de parfum. It does depend. It's very much dependent on the manufacturer, but this one definitely is a good, expensive manufacturer. It will last a long time, and this does. This has a lovely smell to it. I really like this. It's got that Colonia family smell to it. They all smell of this same, like the Essenza, and this one definitely a family smell to it, a family which I like. Strange enough for me, it hasn't got any ingredients I would normally smell, so like patchouli and vetiver, those sorts of things I've had previously aren't in this one. But yeah, I really, really like the smell of this. It's a really nice smell, so I'm glad I've got this one. So what I mean by more expensive, this one ranges from about 108 to 116, something like that in price. It isn't overly cheap. That's for 50ml as well, so it's more expensive than the others I've gone through so far. So I did mention that I got some samples, and when I got the Colonia Club, the Acqua di Parma, I got some Acqua di Parma samples. So I've actually had some little cards come through when you get that one. I'm going to talk about these quite quickly. This is Arancia di Capri. It's from the Blue Mediterraneo range of fragrances. Now, the thing with Blue Mediterraneo, as is with the Colonia, they do a lot of them. So you look at the fragrance, oh, I'll have a Blue Mediterranean. Well, no, there isn't actually one. There's about 8 or 9 again. So there's loads of different variations. This one is a Capri. Again, it's a very, very citrusy, very fruity smell. It looks in colour, the blue looks a little bit like my Mountain Dew drink I've got today. And it's a bit citrusy like the Mountain Dew drink. Very much a citrusy, fruity smell. It dries down to petitgrain and cardamom. So it sort of moods, sort of slows it down. It's an eau de toilette, which would make it stronger than the previous one I've just talked about. But in my mind, it didn't last anywhere near as long. I smelt the top notes, and I was wearing it again for the day. Had a couple of top-ups, took it out with me, had to top up twice. It didn't last as well as I thought it would. Base notes, again, very similar to the top notes in the najim, and this has got caramel in it, caramel and musk. But I didn't really notice them because after, I said, not a very long while, it sort of wore out, and I didn't really smell it so much. So not one for me, although it's quite a nice start. I think it doesn't last well enough. This one for 100ml is £153. So it's quite inexpensive because it's an eau de toilette, it's dearer. But yeah, I wasn't overly impressed with this one. So this is another Mediterranean. This one's a bit newer. The last one, the Capri, came out in 1999, so it's been around for 26 years. This one came out in 2006. This is an amalfi. This is a different smell. Although they're both Blue Mediterraneans, this was a completely different smell to that one. This is a more floral, more fragrant smell to it. It starts out very similar. It starts out with a sort of a fruity, sort of citrusy smell to it, because it starts off with bergamot, orange, lemon, things like that. So quite bittery type citrusy smells initially when it starts out. This one dries down differently. It dries down to fig, There's pink pepper and a musk in the middle notes on this one, and the base on this one is sort of cedar wood, that sort of stuff. So it's a slightly woody smell to it, as well as fragrance, a mix between wood, fragrance and citrus. So it's quite a mix of flavours, shall we say. I quite like the mix of the sort of the fruity with floral, with sort of aromatic smells and a little bit of wood. This is a much nicer smell than the Capri. It's the same price, it's £153 for 100 mils, but it just seems a bit nicer, a bit more pleasant to wear. Again, all day fragrance, you can wear this daytime. I would say it's more of a summer fragrance. But again, you can wear it to work, do whatever you want with it. It's quite a nice fragrance. I could easily get on with this one. I do want to try some of the other Blue Mediterraneos though. They do some more mandarini type ones, which are much more citrusy than this one. So I'll see what they're like next time I get some. And last but not least, another Acqua di Parma fragrance. This one is one of the newer ones other than the c.l.u.b. This is a new one. This came out in 2022. This is called Zafferano. It's part of their Signatures of the Sun range, so it's quite a higher end up range. This is an eau de parfum compared to the cologne and the eau de toilets from the others. This one has a much stronger smell and lasts a lot longer. Price wise, it's probably no different. It's about £110 for 100 mils. This is a different smell completely to the other three. Totally different smell. This is more of a romantic type, evening type smell, I think. Probably more night, I would say. Starts out with coriander, mandarin, bitter orange and ordinary orange, mandarin orange. It's a citrusy smell at first, but the middle notes got a bit of orange, it's orange blossom. You've then got saffron, geranium, rose, and you've got jasmine and sabbak. So it's a very floral smell, and it doesn't take long to get to that. So you get to this floral smell quite quick, which is quite nice because again that then lasts throughout the day. Probably middle notes are the most ones you'll notice. This does last, it's an eau de parfum, it does last a long time with this floral notes. It's very nice fragranty smell to it. It ends up with sort of woody tonka bean and vanilla at the end of the note, so it is sold for women as well, but I would say it's more male, especially at the end of the day. Initially, maybe as it starts out, could be a unisex female fragrance. The woody fragrance as mixed with patchouli and tonka bean. It's, yeah, I don't know, it is unisex. Women could wear this all day long, whereas I think with a man, you probably maybe in the evening, if you're in the daytime, be a business meeting, something like that, and in the evening, if you're going out to the pub or to a restaurant, something like that, it is a very luxurious smell, this one, should we say. So anyway, that's it. That's my fragrance reviews this time. I will do more when I get more. Thanks for watching. Do subscribe. Do hit the like button if you like it. If you've got any questions, stick them down below. I don't mind answering questions on fragrances and things. I've had quite a few over the last few years. I think since I started doing fragrance reviews, I've probably had 60 or so different ones I've tried. So yeah, if you've got any questions, just ask. And thanks a lot. Bye bye.